Hey guys! Today we're going into the 10 Movie Kids pack again, and just like The Impossible Elephant, which was a terrible knockoff of E.T., we're going to be looking at a movie which is a shameless ripoff of another timeless classic. This is Earth Minus Zero. First of all, what kind of title is this? Earth Minus Zero? Well, anything minus zero just equals itself, so I guess the title is actually just Earth. I also mentioned that this movie is a ripoff of a much more popular movie, but judging from the poster, what do you think that movie might be? The poster shows Mr. Miyagi firing a laser gun at a Cylon while being watched over by the ghostly image of a 5-year-old cowgirl and Zeus from The Dog Who Saved Insert Holiday Here. Is this ripping off The Dog Who Saved series? Battlestar Galactica? The Karate Kid? Plan 9 from Outer Space? Laser Blast? Full House? The answer? None of the above. Our movie opens in space! And we see that this movie was directed by John Travolta's brother, Joey Travolta. As a fan of Mystery Science Theater 3000, I suddenly had the urge to play Who Would You Want in Your Werewolf movie? After a little space battle made of production values right out of a cheap porno movie, we meet an alien who looks like a fire hydrant designed by H.R. Geiger. And for some reason, his face looks like a vagina with tusks.
Now the chief scientist will let me come back home and have my old job back.
This is Minus. And yes, that really is his voice. This is supposed to be the villain of the movie, and he sounds like Gumby with laryngitis. And he's also flying a spaceship that looks like a spaceship on the outside, but on the inside, it looks like a set left over from some caveman movie. We then meet our main protagonist, Debbie Heller, played by Marcia Strassman. She's a gym teacher who works at a school where Mr. Miyagi himself, Pat Morita, also works as a science teacher.
Okay, thanks a lot, Dr. Jefferson. Bye-bye.
Dr. Jefferson? No, sorry, he's Mr. Miyagi. We then meet the rest of Debbie's family. Her husband Marshall, who can't hold a job, her slacker son Joey, who looks like the fourth Hanson brother, and her daughter Cindy, who's all made of sugar and spice and everything annoying.
Come on, shoot Daddy! Oh, Monty, no. Lonnie, no! My Ellen, just get... Here's your daughter. Get him out of here. My Ellen!
Good day.
Monty, get him out of here, Monty.
Now, you're probably thinking that it's unfair of me to call this little girl annoying just because she's excited to see her dog. But you just wait. And by the way, I don't think I've ever seen a typical suburban home as rushed as this place. The terrible paint job, the sloppy spackling. What, could they not spend more than $50 on this set? We cut back to Minus as he talks to his leader via Bit from Tron. And for some reason, he's Jewish.
Minus, you schlep! Turn up the volume on the control panel right in front of you.
I'm sorry, chief scientist, sir. Well, I not only captured one, I captured 4 ships for your Save the Species program. May I come line?
Minus, stop with the begging. Transport already.
We're Jews out in space. We're zooming along, protecting the Hebrew race.
As a gift for being so successful on your first assignment, here are some of those Meshuggah video game crystals you kids are so crazy for.
Oh my god.
Don't you mean, oh my Xenu? You might be wondering what Minus's current mission is. Well, let's take a look at this briefing from Grand Moff Goldstein here.
We're gonna need a specific breeding pair.
Specific?
After deliberation, we've come to the conclusion that this is the people we want. First, Marshall Heller, a genius. But the people, they don't even give him a second look. His wife is Deborah. She's smart, she's pretty, and I with a mouth on her. And the both of them, they're in tip-top shape.
Yep. His mission is to acquire a couple of human specimens who are in the prime of their lives so they can participate in some kind of a breeding experiment. This is a cheap porno movie.
Minus, you know this is a big, big deal. Can you comprehend what I'm saying to you?
Yes, chief scientist. I understand my mission, but I know nothing of this planet or its people.
Hold on, here are some information crystals we recorded from the Earth's late-night TV transmissions. Study them well.
Oh, great. I've heard about late-night TV. This might not be so bad after all. Between these transmissions and my new Vulcan video game crystal, I should have plenty to keep me occupied on the way to Earth.
Minus, forget about the concocted video games already and concentrate on studying the info crystals.
But I could do some studying, then some playing, then maybe a little more studying, then some playing, and then some studying.
They're shooting a minus! Study the crystals!
Oh, okay, everything's under control. I'll do it, no problem. You can count on me, sir.
Shall we try this again?
Yes, let's try that whole scene again. That was just terrible. It would appear that Marshall here is trying to make a winning entry for America's Funniest Home Videos, since a genius like him is having a hard time finding a job. After that bit of nothing, we see some more confirmation of how irritating Cindy really is.
Can I play Nintendo?
No.
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 What was this, written by Seth MacFarlane? Get on with it! And yes, despite their mentioning the word Nintendo several times, they couldn't actually use a Nintendo controller of any kind. Thanks for going that extra mile, movie.
Daddy? 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 Daddy!
Sorry, precious.
Oh, sorry, Princess. I didn't hear you the first 12 times. Midas makes it to Earth to look for his human specimens, but he needs a disguise before he can get them.
7 down and 6 to go. Ladies and gentlemen, hold on to your hats as you're about to witness history in the making. It looks as though Rapid Roy Thompson is about to successfully deliver 13 pizzas in 30 minutes. Previous record of 11 held by Crash Nygaard is about to fall.
Okay, I gotta call bullshit here. 13 deliveries in 30 minutes? Not only is it impossible for any one driver to be saddled with that many orders, but 30 minutes? You're gonna be lucky if you can take 2 in that amount of time. And what's happening on this day that's making everybody in town want to order pizza? You don't see this kind of traffic on the busiest of dinner rushes on Halloween or the Super Bowl. Anyway, Midas abducts the pizza guy so he can steal his likeness, and he hides his spaceship in a tree outside of the Howler's home. He then proceeds to make his move while disguised as a completely different pizza driver. Okay. Oh, and you remember how I said this movie is a ripoff of another more popular movie? Just watch this.
What was that? Where is this?
Oh yeah. Marcia Strassman, who you probably remember most as the mother from Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, was just shrunken down herself. This movie is a ripoff of Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. But, hey, whatever. Aliens come down and start shrinking people? I still find that more easy to believe than some kind of a Jesus space elephant. He manages to shrink Marshall down too, but before he can just take his quarry and leave...
Uh-oh.
Where are you? Nintendo. Nintendo. Nintendo.
Okay, was her mom a video game addict while she was pregnant with her or something? What's with this kid? She shrinks Midas down to size, and he and Debbie are now stuck together. And one thing you'll quickly notice, this movie constantly forgets how small these people are supposed to be. 1 minute they're a few inches tall, then the next they're small enough to be unconvincingly inhaled by their dog. Yeah, I imagine there was a lot of snorting behind the scenes. We then meet these two idiots who are following Mr. Miyagi around to try to get a story out of him that will make their journalistic careers.
Whoa. Who's Mobius?
Mobius Jefferson, the scientist who's doing secret research on nanorobots, building them one molecule at a time.
Because as a middle school science teacher, he totally has time to do that. Joey and Cindy decide to go to Miyagi so he can help them get their parents back to normal, and while they walk to his classroom, because teachers live in their classrooms, you know, they end up shrinking and growing everything they pass just by waving the shrinking ray. Was it really too much trouble to put a trigger on it? How many of Midas's people have been wiped out just by their attempts to pick up the damn thing? It's also worth pointing out that this scientist who knows how to build robots on a molecular level apparently doesn't know how electric lights work. After pocketing a vial full of his nanobots, and not blowing out any of the candles, not like that's a fire hazard or anything, they go back to the Heller household, and Joey manages to get everything back to normal size. Because he's good at video games, So of course he knows how to operate alien technology like this. Meanwhile, Hadi and Costello here are snooping around Miyagi's lab, but when they try to see if anything worth writing about might be in his safe... Let me guess, they completely ignore the story of the middle school science teacher keeping live explosives in his classroom. They somehow track the kids down to their home, instead of calling the police about the middle school science teacher who keeps live explosives in his classroom. And they break in while the kids take no advantage of this ample opportunity to get their dad back to normal. Mr. Miyagi gets shrunken too, and the kids are herded into Joey's ridiculously huge bedroom, where he proceeds to violently throw both of them out of his second-story window. It'd be easy enough to simply, I don't know, shrink your attackers, but that's fine. Good old-fashioned cold-blooded murder works too. No, it turns out that they're just fine, since they fell into the spaceship that Minus hid in the tree outside Joey's window. Except that the tree was taller than the house in this earlier shot, so how does that work? We then see Minus and Debbie make their way to the TV, where he makes a bunch of virtual giant hornets bust out of it, and this is somehow supposed to get him his gun back. 3 major things wrong with this idea. 1. The special effects are terrible. They make money for nothing look like the latest Pixar movie. 2. How is Minus creating virtual reality fields just by sticking his hands into a TV circuitry? How is this supposed to help Minus get his gun? Assuming that these things are supposed to kill Joey, he still needs him to use it on him since he's too small to use it on himself. 3. Did this kid study at the Megan Fox School of Acting? Joey, you're being attacked by giant hornets! Have some kind of reaction, damn it! The movie then comes to a screeching halt as Miyagi talks about his nanobots and how he thinks he can use them to defeat Minus. And how does that help the fact that you're still the size of a cocktail weenie? Meanwhile, inside the TV, Debbie's not taking any more of Minus's crap.
Ooh, pain, reverting to pupae state.
You're not so tough now, are you, buddy?
Must revert back. What was that?
I call it a pointless opportunity to show off more CGI, which you really shouldn't be all that proud of. So she just keeps throwing everything she has at him, while he stands there too scared to fight back. Our villain, ladies and gentlemen.
Welcome to suburbia.
After mulling over some words of wisdom which were given to him from his father, words of wisdom which we've never heard before, Joey somehow gets the idea to shrink himself, and that's somehow a better idea than looking for his mom in the TV where the alien would most probably be, and immediately unshrink her.
I'll just shrink myself twice.
You want to let us in on how that's supposed to be a good idea? I mean, shrinking yourself down so that you're even smaller than the alien who's already shrunken down? Isn't that a little counterproductive? We jump back to this schmuck as he has a little mental breakdown.
Hey, belay that order, mister. Hey, I'm talking to you. Belay and walk away. That's right. Damn the torpedoes! Hoist the colors! 30 degrees, port to starboard. Full dead ahead, fine speed. Shiver me timbers. Gopher to the bridge, please. Gopher to the bridge, please. Look out!
And he decides that randomly pushing buttons on an alien spaceship is the best thing to do.
Wonder what this does.
Really? You're just gonna arbitrarily blow up LAX for no reason? Why don't you just toss in the explosions from UHF while you're at it?
Wonder what this does. Wonder what this does. Wonder what this does. Wonder what this does.
Joey then shrinks Minus even further and gets his mom and himself back to normal size, and they put Minus in a little terrarium. One would think the logical thing to do would be to just step on him and be done with it, but do you really expect logic to start coming into play at this point? And of course, Minus immediately escapes.
Uh-oh. He's gone.
What do you mean he's gone?
He means that he's gone. How can that possibly be misconstrued? Before they can unshrink their dad, Midas makes his way back into the TV where he creates a virtual reality North Pole that Joey can just easily walk out of, and then makes some kind of a stop-motion worm monster that kinda eats Marshall and Miyagi? Then they use the nanobots to eat the worm thing? I don't know, I've looked at the scene half a dozen times and I still can't figure out what's going on. If this VR snowstorm poses no threat to anyone, why would this thing? How can the nanobots eat it if it's not even really there? How does a VR worm transport these guys into some other crappy movie? So yeah, Dad and Miyagi somehow survive all that horse hockey, and are brought back to their normal sizes. They unshrink Midas and tell him to get lost, and he runs off with his tail between his legs. But it's okay. Remember those two idiots who were beaten up by a 12-year-old? Midas went ahead and abducted them, so now he finally gets to have his science breeding whatever thingy like he wanted, and this dumbass can finally lose his virginity before he dies.
Yip, yip, yippee-ki-yay! Ride 'em, cowboy! Hi-ho, silver, and away!
And on that awkward, lackluster note, the movie thankfully comes to a close. And so that was Earth Minus Zero, or as I like to call it, Movie Minus Good. Most of the actors are terrible, the writing is crap, the villain poses no threat to anyone, the special effects are a joke, the set design is atrocious, everything about this movie just reeks of cheap half-assery. The only saving grace in all of this is Pat Morita, but they don't give him anything to do in this movie. And Marcia Strassman? You deserved better than this, not being typecast as the mom constantly having to deal with shrinking kids. In short, Joey Travolta should have probably just stuck to singing. See you next time.
Lately I've been known for making up excuses, and all too many times wondering what the use is now. Nothing's like it used to be when you and me were all I ever dreamed of. Dreams just don't come true, just the way we planned them. Looking back in time, I still don't understand just how the feeling comes and goes. So before I start to lie, I want you to know, oh, I don't wanna go, but I can't stay here no more. I don't wanna go, but I just